What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. Today we have massive unboxing number 38 for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's videos. Today we have a very exciting massive unboxing in store. We got some brand new GeminiJets and NG models here, and I'm super excited to take a look at them. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into the box, everybody. Alrighty guys, so I thought it'd be really cool for different since every single model was in their own packing right here to take them out one by one. And this order was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, so I thought this would be nice for different and change it up. So let's go ahead and get into each and every one, everybody. And they may be a little out of order, but it's all the new releases from over the summer. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, a nice one to start out right here. This is a really big one. Right here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Contour Ember ERJ 145. Really cool model here that GeminiJets did. Again, this is really expanding on that miscellaneous sector that we've talked about, like the Mesa CRJ 900, SkyWest CRJ 700, among others. So very excited for this model today, and this will be a really good one for the collection, and I'm excited to get into it. So you have your standard GeminiJets box here, not too much to depict, as you guys know. But first, Contour model here for GeminiJets, and certainly very excited to take a look at this one. Again, this is a 2023 release. Of course, you have the pamphlet. Feel free to pause the read, and the aircraft inside. So let's go ahead, get into it, and see what it's all about here for our standard GeminiJets packing. But it does have the double plastic, so that's certainly nice. And take a look at Contour right here, looking very nice right there. Alrighty, everybody, and here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Contour Airlines Ember ERJ 145. Very excited to have this aircraft. This is a really cool one, nice and simple, but certainly going to serve a big purpose here in the collection, and very excited to have it. So let's go ahead and get into details. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see right here, we have the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. Plenty of Ember 145 detail down here, from the panels to the pitot tubes and all that fun stuff. So really good. I haven't got a Gemini 145 here in a while, so very glad to see those details certainly taking a step up there. Here's the nose landing gear and the nose landing gear door, so that's also very nice to see some pretty adequate detail there, along with the L1 door with some really nice handles and some various attributes that make that very nice. And then as you can see right there, we got the Contour billboard titles right there. So as you can see, really nice and simple text, but it looks really good with that font, so certainly very glad to get to see that right there. Some more additional nice details here. As you can see, this panel looks really nice along with these around here. So the big takeaway for these regional jets on Gemini lately is the detail certainly took a step in the right direction. This is really impressive. Not that it was bad before, but certainly taking a step up rather than the right direction, because it's not like it was bad, but man, this is certainly getting close to NG territory with regards to how much detail we have printed. Really cool with the Contour livery. As you can see, have that light blue and then kind of the mid-tone blue and then the navy, all three working in conjunction, so that's certainly very nice right there. Here's the wing. As you can see, we got the panel and the emergency exit right there, along with some flaps, SWAT, and speed brake detail. We'll see if they continue to enhance this, but this certainly is adequate for a 145 in the 400 scale. There's the main landing gear too, that also look fantastic. You got contour.com right there, or contourairlines.com rather, I should say, and a registration November 12552, so certainly a nice basic registration deal right there. And as you can see, the tail looks super nice, so you have all those blue shades coming together and then a nice plane on it. I don't know if it's supposed to be a 145 or not, but nevertheless, it looks really good for their image. I think it looks really nice. And of course, you got a little detail there on the back of the APU, and the horizontal stabilizers are also nicely detailed as well. On the right side of the aircraft, you have very comparable details, but again, that nose sector really has some impressive details on it, so that's really great. They are still utilizing the one-piece mold here, as that's all they have for the 145, and this one turned out really well, so certainly glad to see that they did a really good job on it right here as well. Just really good. You gotta admire that detail there on the bottom right there. They did a killer job on this. So ultimately, a outstanding job here by GeminiJets on the Contour 145. It's so small I don't have to zoom out that far, so as you can see, you got the various shades of blue, so that's really nice there with the beacon there on the top. And then on the bottom of the aircraft, of course, you got all the different shades of blue and just the incredible detail, especially there on the wings. You can see all those in panels. That is super, super impressive here for a 145, and a huge step up here for GeminiJets here on this aircraft. So I am super impressed here with this Contour 145. This is the definition of perfect here in 1:400 scale. Not too much, not too little. Very good detail and a really good color on it. This is one of their best regional jets in a very long time, and GeminiJets, outstanding job on this. And Delta 175 is coming soon, boys, so let's just keep moving in the right direction right there. Alrighty guys, let's go into a narrow body next. As you can see, this is a little bit bigger box. What do we have? We have a really good one right here. Very excited for this. This is going to be the NG models 1:400 scale Spirit Airlines Airbus A321neo. Really excited for this new type for the Spirit fleet and also for the collection here. NG models, the first to the punch, so very excited to get this offering, and it's going to be a great addition to the collection. So let's just go ahead and get right into the initial impression here. Take a look at how cool this box is. Airbus A321neo, really cool how you have the Spirit text kind of going all throughout in various sizes sizes. I think that's a really cool attribute of the box right here. So very cool concept here by NG Models on this box. Spirit NG Models, here's CGI. Registration November 702, November Kilo. So this one in the service, I believe in June, so it has been flying for a few months now, but it is absolutely awesome to see that the model is here, and I'm really excited to take a look at how it came out and what it's all about. So looking really good. Item number 13099, and let's go ahead and get into the NG Spirit 321 Neo. So we should have a card with it as well. We sure do, so I'll put that off to the side. Gotta get our redemption going at some point here. Would certainly like to do that. But here's the aircraft. So of course it's pretty much like the 321 that NG did. They did one in 2020, now they're doing one again, so how about that? But of course the next engine option is going to make the heck of a difference right there on this Neo. Take a look at that. That hits different, man. It really does. Alrighty, everybody, let's take a look at the NG models. 1:400 scale Spirit Airlines Airbus A321 Neo. What a model by NG, man. This is an absolutely outstanding effort. Again, it just hits different with that engine, man. I know it's a small change, but the raccoon mask and just all the various elements, this is a really cool model, and I'm stoked to have it for the collection. So let's go ahead and get into the details, everybody. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as you can see, we have the cockpit windows right here, and as I was referring to, that raccoon mask looks really nice on this. Very excited that Gemini is doing theirs now as well in the 320 Neo, so excited to get that one too to complement this one. Here's the nose cone, and then you have your applicable panels right here, Airbus A321 Neo. Here's the L1 door. You have some really nice levers and all the various details right here, and nose landing gear. So I stand corrected by this. In the past, I've been a little bit critical of how far they've tilted far out there, you know, like that, like the swing type look. They've got much better with it lately, and as you can see, it has just a little bit to show that it's there, which is what it looks like in real life. So really great job here by NG. This is a really great detail to lean it just enough to represent it, but also not get it too far. So NG has done a fantastic job of catering to that lately, excuse me. So couldn't not recognize that here. So that's absolutely awesome. Here's the L1 door along with some more panels right here. And then I think they have 8 big front seats here on the 321 Neo. So a really fun product. Highly recommend trying it if you do find an opportunity to. It's a really good one. But as you can see right here, really nice antenna there as well. And then the fuselage just looks awesome. Yeah, again, it's really like the 321, but at the same time, it's not. The magnitude difference is really impressive. So as you can see, not too much going on until you have the full-fledged Spirit billboard titles. Really cool part about this model, of course, is how there's no sketches. It's all filled in. We've got a bunch of models of 1:400 of the sketches, so really nice to have it all filled in. And there is that Neo engine, Spirit.com. That's just filthy, man. I'm not saying that in a bad connotation, by the way. It's just hearsay for how good it looks. It looks really nice. So really cool. Of course, that next engine option, you had that more boxy type look, which is really cool. And then the back over there by the chevron looks really nice too. So I mean, that's just super cool to see, and a really great job there by the exhaust. That's just absolutely fantastic, and the cowling also looks super good too. So ultimately, a really cool piece of this aircraft, and certainly very, very nice right there. The main landing gear also look very good, and then you have some very adequate detail there for the flaps, splats, and speed brakes. Flaps, slats, and speed brakes, I should say. Can't talk today. Sharklet also looking really nice. It's a little bit boxy there, but it's okay. No major complaint, just something to think about. And then you have the billboard titles, like I said, and then the cool part about this is, of course, you don't have the L2 door, rather you have 2 emergency wings exits over the wings. So that's what we have right here, and it looks absolutely fantastic. You have the L3 door right there, and as you can see, you got a couple more antennas and a couple of panels and some various details throughout there too. Also got to get that Howdy in on the inside of the Sharklet. That looks really nice, so very cool to get the note that right there. And then you got the L4 door, November 702, November Kilo, US flag, all the applicable details. There's the Spirit on the tail right there, and really awesome on NG's molds, man. This is what hits different, at least in my opinion, is the various detail there from the elevator to all the various indentations throughout the tail. Certainly some high level detail and a really good job. You also have the various detail back there, APU, horizontal stabilizers, and the whole 9. I'd say the aircraft very similar, of course, but you do have the baggage doors on this side, so that's what you see right there, and you also see it there as well. Top of the aircraft also looks very good, nothing too crazy besides that beacon, so great job there. In the bottom of the aircraft, some really awesome detail, especially there on the nose, or sorry, the main landing gear door. You can see these indentations, or not really indentations, but rather the physical component. I'm not sure what to call it, but that piece looks really cool. And then, of course, you got some more various panels, and all of those are great details. So really great job here by NG. So glad to have this model. It's a really awesome one. They've released several Spirit offerings that I'll certainly be getting, so might have to do a full Spirit massive unboxing next with the 319. two 320s and the 320 Neo, or I'm sorry, 321. I'll decide on that one later. We'll have to see. But nevertheless, really excited to get all these Spirit aircraft. Might have to do a full unboxing for them because it's certainly impressive. So great job here by NG. They're taking over the Spirit market, and we absolutely love to see it. Alrighty, everybody, let's go into our next one, and this one's certainly a little bit heavier, so we'll see which one it is. I have one in mind that it might be, but we'll just take a look and see what it is. No, curveball. It's been a while. I've been trying to get this one for a while, but we finally got our hands on it. So a little late to the show. I apologize, but nevertheless, late is better than never, as we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 767-400 in 1:400 scale. This is the Ron Allen edition right here. So yeah, we have our very first 767-400s here in 1:400 scale in the diecast form. We have had Dragon Wings make some of these in the past, but I definitely don't have one in my collection. So we're really excited to get this today, and this will be a really cool component for the collection. Panda is also going to be doing the newer liveries here, so we'll have the Widget and the Evo Blue done by Panda, so definitely going to be looking to get both those. And also there's another one in this box, I believe, so we'll stay on the lookout for that, and you'll see what I'm referencing soon. But nevertheless, really good looking box right here, pretty standard. You do have the new Delta Widget on it, so yeah, really eager to see what this new mold's all about. New GeminiJets mold here in the 1:400 scale. It's going to be crazy to see what this is all about, and I'm eager to see how this one came out. So this is a 2023 release, and certainly looking forward to seeing how they did. Here is the pamphlet right here, so feel free to pause the read if you like, and the aircraft on the inside with a broken vertical stabilizer. So certainly unfortunate right there. Packing was very good in this box down here, so that's unfortunate to see. But and a detached wing, oh boy, here we go. We've gave Gemini a bunch of praise lately, so this is certainly a strikeout for them. This is unfortunate. What more can I say here besides this is a strikeout? So tail detached, and the left wing also detached as well. Hopefully no more parts. I believe we're going to get away without any more. Well, I say stand corrected, as the right wing also came off. At least we had the vertical stabilizers intact. I'm not gonna. We've been doing these mass unboxings for a very long time now, 5-6 years. So there's no reason for me to complain about these issues. Rather assess them. And my assessment of this current situation is that this is an unfortunate impression for the 767-400. You know, there was a bunch of hype around this mold. I've also heard some various other complaints, like the nose landing gear not staying flat. But the majority of them I've seen have came intact. So maybe perhaps I just got one of the bad ones. What I will say is there is a little bit of paint chipping here. That's certainly not encouraging. You can see it there on my finger, which is very unfortunate, especially considering how good that polish looks on the underside. I won't sit here and say that there's not any excuse, because NG's had similar problems with newer molds. So, you know, there's certainly a happy medium to be had between new products and quality control, and Gemini has really balanced it well lately. So this is an okay pass. We do have more Geminis in this box, I will say that, so this will give them a fair opportunity to redeem themselves. But coming off that contour, you know, we thought that we would be getting something really good here, and unfortunately we have broken parts here, and it's certainly you know, this is kind of the two-piece mold too, right? So we'll get it all depicted here. I'll put it back together for us, but certainly a really interesting initial impression here for the 767-400. I will say there's another one in that box though, so that will really determine whether this is a fluke or not. So let's go ahead and put it back together and see what the actual aircraft is all about with the broken pieces aside. Alrighty guys, and here we go for the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 767-400 in the Ron Allen livery. So yeah, outside of that initial I'm trying to think of the phrase to use here. I about said dumpster fire, but I didn't want to be that rude about it, because, you know, this is a new mold and everything, and Gemini has done a good job recently. So after that not great initial impression, we are now here with the aircraft reconstructed, and certainly does look much better. And the good news is it's not bouncing up and down like I've seen a couple QC issues on. So that is certainly very exciting. But let's go ahead and take a look at this aircraft and really see what this brand new mold's all about, despite the QC problems that I had. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and get started. So here we go with the nose cone. This is the place that's been the most talked about upon this new mold. I personally think it looks fine, you know. Probably not the sharpest and the most crispy in the world with regards to the shaping, but it still looks pretty good, and I think that we can all accept that, so that certainly looks pretty good. I believe this is one of my first Ron Allens in a while that I've got. So as you can see here, you have the navy line and the red line, so those certainly mesh really well. We have some pitot tubes and some various panel detail down here, so that looks really good. You do have the SkyTeam logo on here, ironically enough, which is a really nice component. Here's nose landing gear and nose landing gear door. Looks like that might be a little bit crooked maybe, or maybe it's just the angle that I'm looking at it, but I'll take a more in-depth up look here in a second. But that certainly looks maybe a little bit crooked, but maybe it's supposed to be like that, so I won't go too far on that. Here's the L1 door, and then you have the Delta Airlines billboard titles. You have that navy color for Delta, and then Airlines is more of a lighter blue, so that certainly looks really nice. I have to give them this metallic belly. They did a really good job on that, and that looks really good, especially in various lighting conditions, as you can see how it changes. So a good job here by GeminiJets for getting to represent that component of this aircraft. 767-400 is the stretch job of the 767 fleet. As such, this front part especially is very extended, but really the back from the 764-2 is really extended. So as you can see, we got some various panels. It does have the L2 door, which is really cool about 767-400, so that looks very nice right there. So very cool to get to see that. Here is the wing attachment. Now, it does look good with regards to not having a big slot there, but unfortunately, as you can see, that compromised some paint chipping on this particular instance. However, hopefully, when they do come attached, it does look really good. So it's okay. It happens to the best of us. At least it looks cool on the underside, I guess, with this gap right here. But nevertheless, what can you do about it? Here are the engines. I think these might be General Electrics. I'm not completely sure, so don't take my word on that. But nevertheless, they do look pretty good here. So as you can see, taking a look at the right side there, looking pretty good. You also have these slats with the flaps and speed brake details, so looking nice right there. Certainly a really good job by GeminiJets here. They did do a good job of putting that together, so that's certainly looking very nice. Here's the rest of the fuselage with the L3 door, looking very nice. And again, this livery is pretty simple once you get the gist of it, so nothing too crazy to report on there besides the antennas that look pretty good on this aircraft, so good job here by Gemini in that regard. The US fly with November 826 Mike Hotel, and then we have the back door, baggage door, excuse me, that little vent piece right there. And then, of course, the Delta Airlines Ron Allen tail, which does look very nice. They did a good job on the color there. It's unfortunate that piece came deassembled, but again, what can you do? You do have the two horizontal stabilizers, and that side looks good as well. The right side also looks really good. That's really putting the nose on display. It's probably not perfect, to be completely honest, but, you know, what can you do? That is certainly a pretty bad impression right there. That certainly missed the QC check with regards to this. That is certainly pretty rough. That is some pretty significant paint damage there. So might consider sending this aircraft back, considering that it's certainly this was not the sharpest tool in the shed with regards to this aircraft particularly. Here's the right wing, which certainly inserted a little bit better there, so I'm certainly glad to see that. Here's the R3 and R4 door, excuse me, which looks really good. You also have the baggage door back there, which is also looking really nice. And here's the tail as well. Little paint chip there, of course, like I was referring to. But outside that, really nice job. And they did do a good job with regards to the model itself. Just got to make sure that QC is on point next time. And we'll have another test for them, so we'll see how it goes. Beacon on top right there also looks very good. And on the bottom, again, that metallic belly looks really good, so good job. Some nice underneath details there. They did do a good job of integrating those. And again, some pretty significant paint damage there on the bottom left wing, which was the one initially detached, and the right pretty much followed suit with it, as I gave it a nice, very neglectable pull. It was pretty small. So, yeah, for the 767-400, the mold's outstanding. That's the good news here. Really, really good job with regards to the proportions for the most part, excluding the nose. You know, we could talk about that all day. And, you know, there's going to be some cool combinations they can do with it. Of course, they've done United, which may or may not be the next aircraft up. And they do have plenty more options. JC Wing is also doing the house livery, so that's exciting. And then, as I said, Panda is going to be getting after it with their new ones, so I'm excited to get those on hand. And then, what's the other one? NG's also going to be making this mold, so we'll have to see how their versions all come out. My goal is to have a couple of all of them to really do a good job of contrasting. So, and they got the Delta and United new colors first, so definitely we'll be getting after those. And I do have another Gemini in here, so try to balance it out like a 2-2-2 pair, and I might try to get a. We'll see how it goes, but I might try to get a different, maybe a Continental NG one, maybe to balance it out, or maybe try to get the Evo Blue or something from NG as well, or maybe sell one, you know, balance it out a little bit, of course. But nevertheless, this is looking really great. Certainly very happy with this aircraft, despite the tough first impression on the mold. Certainly willing to forgive it, and I'm really, really eager to see how this next test goes, so we'll see how it happens. Alrighty, that was certainly quite interesting. Was not expecting that, to be completely honest, after Gemini's huge roll here. So let's see what our next aircraft is. Oh boy, here we go. So it is going to be the next 767-400. This is going to be the United Continental Globe. So what a follow-up. Just pulled that right out of the bag, and that's going to be the next one up. So yeah, this is their chance to redeem themselves. We'll see what they do with it. I'm not even going to open the pamphlet. I'll just take a look around the box. So this is the Continental Globe 767-400. So glad to have this one that they did. And of course now the Panda ones will be next up with the Evo Blue and the Delta Current colors, so looking forward to that. Gemini did do the Delta Current 764, but it has a sticker on it, so I'll prioritize the completely standard one, although theirs is fine, so completely go for it if you'd like. But let's take a look at QC here. This is going to be interesting. So can GeminiJets bounce back in a critical moment? We will see. Typical Gemini box, not too much to depict here besides that it's pretty standard, so looking good on all sides right here. I'll open up the pamphlet if I remember. I actually did on the other one, so that certainly worked. So again, 2023 release. I'm eager to see what happens. I'm hopeful that they bounce back here, so let's go ahead and see what they got. This is looking better so far. The vertical stabilizer is attached, so that's the good news. I'm very encouraged by that. The question is the whole plane going to be attached? So far, so good. Yeah, they certainly bounced back on this one. No question about it. Now, this is what you're supposed to see from GeminiJets. This is effort-based right here. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and take a look at the GeminiJets 1:400 scale United Airlines Boeing 767-400 in the co-merger, United Continental, or whatever livery you would like to call it at this point. Really excited to have this aircraft. Good job on Gemini here bouncing back right after that, because they certainly needed it, and a big time to come in clutch here. No, I'm not talking to you, Siri. Certainly a huge time to come in clutch here with their United 764. So looking forward to taking a look at this aircraft. It's going to be a really good one, and they did a really good job from the initial impression. So let's go ahead and get into the details, guys. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and take a look. So here's the cockpit windows right here. Really nice job here with the panels. This one looks really, really nice in this livery, in my personal opinion. Here is the Star Alliance logo along with the L1 door. Here's the nose landing gear door. Much smaller text. This time around, as you can see, you can barely see what's going on there, but certainly looking very nice right there. And then, of course, you get the United Billboard titles. So with this being the co-merger livery, not too much of a difference from that Continental one. So we'll see. I would like to get the NG one at some point, but we're still a ways away from that. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I believe we've got some United Polaris up here since they refitted it. Could be wrong, but some sort of United First product, so that's awesome. And then you should have some business here too, perhaps. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's quite a few domestic flights with these, so they may not. I can't remember off the top of my head, but nevertheless, look good around here. Here's the beacon and the antenna right there, along with the L2 door. A really nice detail right there too, so they did a great job there. Again, wing root, this is what it's supposed to look like. No gaps. It's nice and firm. You know, if you took this up to any general person, they probably wouldn't even think that they would think it's one piece put together. So, or not put together, rather, I mean, one fully assembled piece there. So, really cool to see that. That's absolutely awesome. Engines look great on this aircraft. A really nice job. You can see the landing gear back there, kind of a little bit off the rails with regards to the angle, which you can see it's trying to almost tilt up. In fact, it can tilt up, but this one luckily is optional whether it tilts or not. So, pretty interesting component, but certainly will be nice for takeoff rolls. So that's certainly looking very good. Battery's about down the camera, so I will change it real quick for us. Alrighty, thank you for bearing with me, everybody. So as you can see right there, looking really great on the wing detail here from the flaps, slats, and speed brakes. Really good job. Again, you can see the angle of the landing gear, how it kind of walks around there a little bit, but it's more so the tires than the axle rather than the gear itself. So that's certainly encouraging. So as you can see there, if I put it in the right spot, it will certainly prop up by itself. This is personally cool, but again, that's not what most collectors would desire there. So certainly completely understand all perspectives there, but the goal would be for it to sit flat, which luckily this one is capable of, but some of them I heard have not been able to. So, but nevertheless, looking good there. Got some various panels back there, and the L3 door looking really good. This one does have a Wi-Fi box, so that's certainly very nice to see on this particular offering. So really good job right here. The second antenna right there, and then you got the registration right here, November 69059. So really nice right there. You can see that you got the baggage door as well. The L4 door US flag, got a portion of registration, and a really nice glimpse of that Continental Globe tail. Looking very good. United's a really awesome airline. Certainly very glad to get to see that there. Again, it's like a 777-200 and a 757-300 had a baby LR, that is, for 777. So very interesting there. Horizontal stabilizers and EPU also look good. Right side of the aircraft is also what you would expect. You do have the huge cargo doors in the 764, so that's certainly very nice to see. Let me see if I can prop it up in the front here so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go. So as you can see, it easily sits up, which is pretty crazy to be completely honest. But yeah, physics at its finest, right? So very cool. Yeah, Wingo looks really great on this side as well. So that's certainly a grand slam there for Gemini in regards to the looks back here. They did a really good job. And as you can see, the tail looks really good there as well. Top of the aircraft looks really good. You can see the various details. They did a really good job representing it here. And the bottom, really nice air inlet detail. They did really good. It's not physical as you would expect, but that's certainly a very good job. They got all the details one would want, and they did good here. So great job here on this model. Great bounce back. They certainly need that. Very glad to see this. Let's continue to chug through and see what we got next. Alrighty, everybody, let's take a look at our next aircraft. Going to be an interesting one. Let's just go ahead and slide it right out. Okay, very excited for this one. Yes, more American Airlines duplicates. Always going to take this whenever we can get them. So let me back this up right here so we can see the box a little bit better. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it like right here. Sorry about moving that all at once, everybody. But nevertheless, right here we have the GeminiJets, a 1:400 scale American Airlines Airbus A321neo, and this is going to be the second release from 2023. So in 2019, I believe it was June, they did their first iteration, which is one of the best models they've done. It's really, really great. Now they're going to be taking a stab at yet another one here, and I believe this came out in July of 2023, somewhere around there. The summer was... I'm not here to say that it was a blur, but it was very busy, so I can't remember exactly what month it came out. But nevertheless, really great to see this model right here. Very excited to take a look at it. Let's go ahead and see what we got going here. GeminiJets 25th anniversary logo right here, made for collectors by collectors. You got the American, quite an interesting color there on the box, but it looks pretty good for the most part. So certainly a very nice job right there. Taking a look at all the sides here, looking very good. And then of course you got the back of the box. This is a 2023 release. I opted for one of these. So what my long-term plan is that once NG Models does it, or Panda, or somebody with a really exceptional mold, Gemini's is good. I would consider the others borderline exceptional. I will be picking up multiple of those, and I'll keep one, the first release for Gemini, which I currently have 3 of, and keep this one as well. So get a nice little registration and mold balance there to balance it out. That's usually what I try to do with all my duplicates. But nevertheless, looking very good here. I hope we can go back to opening pamphlets. So there it is right there. And here is the aircraft antenna. Okay, I thought an antenna wasn't there for a minute because it looked, the plastic gave it a reflection. So sorry for getting what's the word I'm looking for? Paranoid there with Gemini with regards to everything. But yeah, take a look at that. That's a talent show and a half. That's really great. Alrighty, everybody, here we go for the GeminiJets 1:400 scale American Airlines Airbus A321neo, second release here for 2023. I'm impressed. This is a really, really, really impressive effort so far here from GeminiJets. From the color to the mold, I mean, this is outstanding. I'm honestly very impressed. I might take back what I said about the duplicates right there. This is honestly, I might have to get a second one of these. Really good job so far. This is going to stack up really nicely. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and take a look at this 321neo. Starting right here with the cockpit windows, really good. We've talked about the nose cone several times. We're not going to get into that right here, but we know the drill. Right here we have the panel, antenna, L1 door, Airbus A321neo. Really good right here in the nose landing gear. This angle is very good. Of course, I could bring in the Spirit here to compare it. The thickness is really the big differentiator here, but the angle's right. What the concept's supposed to be there is good. So ultimately, a really good job right here. Here's the One World logo along with the American logo right here. Now, the color for the gray looks really close. In fact, I would pretty much say that it's there. It's just interesting to see this meshed with the billboard titles of American because the gray seems different. Now, American does have several iterations and it looks so different every single lighting circumstance. So I'm not going to get too far into that. Besides, this is more than acceptable. A really good job. I give the color an A. This is great. Exactly what you want. Just certainly interesting to see it like this because every single one seems to change, which is perfectly fine. As long as we're in this vicinity, we're good. Now, about 3-4 years ago when we weren't, that was a different story. But the concept of being with pretty much the right color is the goal, and we're here. So thank you so much to GeminiJets for doing what they do best. Again, looking really good around here. I finally figured out what this line was underneath. I think that's the line, but there's some sort of line on here that I was told where it's red. I'm pretty sure it's this one where you're not supposed to go in front of because so if the engine is running, so obviously you don't get too close to the engine. So I'm pretty sure that's what that line's for. I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard a couple times. So very cool if that's the intent, case in point of that. So that's really cool. Again, another 321neo, so we don't have an L2 door. Rather, we have the emergency exit right there, but American has their domestic first and economy plus, or rather say main cabin. I just haven't got to fly American lately, so wrong terms, but there we go. As you can see, we have the emergency exit right there, so looking very good. Along with that, you have the emergency exit slide, so that also looks really nice. Neo engine, really good job here. You know, a little bit tilted up, but that's perfectly okay. Very acceptable. And then the main landing gear, you know, it's kind of what I like to think of nowadays, and we'll be doing more in-depth video on this very soon at some point. I hope sooner than later when I get the opportunity to. But this is really what I've been noticing between these GeminiJets and NG models. The NG or both of them have the right concept, really, with most of their molds with regards to proportions and accuracy. I think the major difference right now, it just comes down to NG just nails the precision of angles on almost everything, and they're I didn't want to use the word clunky, but I just looked at this piece right here for the main landing gear and just the angle of it, and you just don't see that. You know, it's like just the precision of like the proportions aren't wrong. It's just the precision of what you're seeing is, you know, it's crystal cut, you know, it's really obvious. So I think that's really where the difference is at this point, because, you know, you can look at this and glance and say, okay, it's a really good model, but if you really want to get into the details of it, which I know several collectors do, really get into the detail of it, you're like, man, that should be a little bit thinner if we're looking at the real life aircraft, which yes, it should, but you know, that's where you have a little bit of a price difference and just all the various elements. That's just what I noticed looking at that piece right there particularly. But again, then you look at the wings and you're like, yeah, this is great. So, and that certainly prompts a great point to take a look at how awesome these wings look. Really good job there on the flaps, especially. That's really great. I love the 320 families. I'm forgetting what the flap piece is called back there. I try to get it memorized every time and I always botch it, but it looks really good back there. Here's the L2 door, and then we have 2 more antennas in the Wi-Fi box. I definitely give a bunch of credit with regards to GeminiJets and the various Wi-Fi box sizes they've had lately. That's been really cool. This is a November 421 uniform whiskey registered aircraft. The other one was Alpha November, so they do have some of these Neos with some different prefixes. This is more of a US Airways one that they used for a while there, but certainly interesting that they have it here on this aircraft, so very cool. And then the tail, which also looks really good. They did a very good job on the color there, from the blue to the red. That is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Horizontal stabilized, APU, the whole 9. Absolutely outstanding job, and they did really good. Right side of the aircraft also looks really good. You can see it's not quite as thick on that side. The other side's thicker, I think, for that rod that you see right there. So, you know, it's all a little bit of a compromise, you know, but still looks really good. Again, looking really good. See, it even looks thinner from this side, maybe a little bit, but certainly interesting there on the main landing gear. But the engine, that's what the engine's supposed to look like. Pretty nice and level there. Really good job. That's awesome. And again, the landing gear just don't roll quite as easy. So, you know, it's just all these little details. And again, we're not trying to be critical here. This is a general assessment regarding GeminiJets and NG models. So again, this is to try to help all of you out as well. And then, you know, just little details like that on the landing gear. I know these are really small details and very small model airplanes, but you know, some people really care about these details, and we have had companies such as NG, Panda, and you can go as far as even Phoenix and JC Wings, even to a degree, that have proved that they're capable of keeping these together. And GeminiJets can't really do anything since these models are made in China. They can't really overwatch it. This is what I was thinking about during aviation ethics class when we were talking about outsourcing maintenance. The U.S. has practices in place, but they can't enforce them on all countries. So kind of a similar concept here. The practice is in place with the instructions, but sometimes you just can't get it to go perfect. That's kind of a similar concept there. So kind of a nice little ironic coincidence, but nevertheless looking good there on this aircraft. But no, really with the big picture of this model, I'm really impressed. I was not expecting it to be this nice. So this is a really good job. Top of the aircraft, beacon, the whole 9. This is great. And considering that these were so challenging to get, the fact that we got a killer re-release with quality, this is a really solid A- model right here. This is great, excluding a couple of small details and obviously the mold. I mean, this is awesome. So Gemini on this 3 or 4 years ago probably gets a C+. So the fact that we're up to A- is awesome. Hell, excuse me, sorry. With regards to the 321 Neo here, you know, some of these have went south, and whether it's QC or whatever the case is, they've certainly went the wrong way. So the fact that we're here now is awesome, and it really is a testament what Gemini's done. Sure, there's hiccups along the way. We saw one there with that 737-400, no doubt about it, but we're really going in the right direction. That's what's so exciting. So let's continue this tree. What do we got next? Yet another Gemini, and this is a really neat one. Yet another miscellaneous offering here for the boys in Vegas. This is going to be the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Kalitta Charters 2 Boeing 737-400. So a really unique model here for Gemini to swing back around and do. In 2021, during the March release, I believe, they did the 727. So 2 years later, following it up with the 737-400. Really fortunate here as this actually flies to my local airport very regularly, pretty much every couple weeks or so. It comes in for a week at a time, so it's a really cool block there in that contracted non-signatory agreement there for Kalitta. So very excited to have this aircraft, and it's going to be a really great one for the fleet. So and first 737-400 here for GeminiJets in a while. I can't remember the last time I got a 737-400 from them. Probably the first one I have with Ariel. So it's going to be a talent show and a half, so I'm ready for it. Let's go ahead and take a look. So box, very simple. We won't spend too much of your time on this because I know everybody's busy and I've had a bunch of homework lately, so I'm sure all my fellow school students understand what I'm talking about. 2023 release right here. There is the pamphlet, so feel free to pause the read if you'd like to. And the aircraft inside looking like a talent show. So let's go ahead, get this out of the box, and see what this aircraft is all about right here. get it out here. Let me see if I can pry that plastic piece off and go ahead and get this on the ground. So, whoa, timeout. Come on, Gemini, let's not go this way again. So the nose landing gear pops off. Now that's a very minor defect compared to what we were just working with, but you know, it's small details. We talked about this with the precision of the molds. Now Gemini coming up with another slack right there, and you know, this happens. What can I say? This is why we get a well-rounded sample here. In NG's defense, I only have one on the table for them right now, so I think I have some more in this box from them, but nevertheless, there'll be several orders coming for NG if not. But yeah, this is certainly tough. So the nose landing gear comes off the Coletta 737-400. The good news is this looks like a pretty simple fix, but you know, small details matter. So, but we'll have some more NGs coming up, so I'm sure that we'll get to take a look at them. But anyways, here is the Coletta 737-400. Certainly quite an aircraft right here. Again, very excited to have it. It will be a really good one. I'll just go ahead and put this back in as we speak. But this is going to be a really great aircraft for the collection. I'm excited to see how it turns out. So let me see if I can get this in here real quick. Alrighty, everybody, here we go with the GeminiJets, a 1:400 scale Coletta Charters 2 Boeing 737-400. Took some time to get that nose landing gear in, but once I did, it's certainly looking like a talent show right here. A really solid effort here by GeminiJets, and this will be an awesome cargo offering. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone. Pretty good job here on the 737-400 for this mold. Here's nose landing gear and nose landing gear door. Very good nose landing gear when it is inserted. So cool to see how that looks though from the outside for different, I suppose. Here's the L1 door, and then you got the stripes. So you got that red, gray, and red shade going back to back to back. So that's certainly very nice. And as you can see right there, you got the big cargo door. I don't know what airline these came from, but I'm sure these were passenger converted. So certainly looking nice right there with that right there. You have the Coletta Charters 2 there on top of the aircraft there in that light gray shade, so that's certainly a nice talent show component of this aircraft. Got some various panels throughout here. They did a really good job. I won't pick up the aircraft due to the landing gear. I'll have to glue that back, but nevertheless, it's okay. Not the end of the world for sure, certainly. There is the engine looking very good right there. That's CFM, so very nice to see that right there. Very good job they did on that. One-piece mold still for this, so they did a really good job making it not very obvious that it is a one-piece mold, so that's certainly very nice here. You got the flaps, flats, and speed brakes there, so that certainly looks very nice, and I wish I could tilt it up. I will just a little bit. So you can see the various components there. You got the main landing gear back there as well, and then again, you got all those passenger windows axed out because it's a converted freighter, so that's certainly very cool. And then you got the red in the white the red in the gray that's split there, making a huge portion of gray there on the tail, which is certainly nice considering they could just left it all blank. November 405 Charlie Kilo is the tail number right there. You got the L2 door, and of course you got the horizontal stabilizers, the various details in all the various components. Well, I didn't mean to even do that, but nevertheless, we'll just review it like this for the rest. The baggage doors where you would have had them for the passengers. Now, it looks like the engine's a little bit low on this right side, so that's certainly unfortunate. In fact, it looks like you can even prop back in a little bit. No, it's glued like that. Neglect what I said there. So certainly, you know, just small details. We talked about this. You got the main landing gear there as well. Again, 405 Charlie Kilo. You got the various panels back there in the whole nine. So certainly looking very good right there. Top of the aircraft, you got the antenna and the beacon, and again, really nice look there on the engines. They look pretty sweet with the piece, the pylon connecting them. So that's one of the cooler parts about this aircraft, in my opinion. You got the not painted on, but decaled on air inlets there, along with the various details on the bottom there. So ultimately a really good job, and looks really good. So yeah, really cool model right here. Certainly very glad to have it. Nose gear is a little unfortunate, but that's a pretty easy fix. So much easier than the other one, in fact. So outside of that, great to get the first 737-400 in a while, and it will be a really good one for the collection. So looking very nice right there. Let's take a look at what this one is. We'll see. Probably another Gemini. The box looks about the same, so let's take a look. Yes, it is. This is a big one. Awesome stuff right here. This is the first time this came out in a while, about 5 years in fact. This is the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 717-200. Very big pickup right here. Big do for Gemini right here. This is a very, very challenging aircraft to get prior to this re-release. So we're really excited for this aircraft. This will be a really nice one. First 717 with aerials. Well, I have the TWA, I guess, so that's not technically correct. But yeah, this is just a big model in general. So very excited to have this for the collection. This will be a talent show and a half. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a really good one. So let's go ahead and get started. You got the 25th stickers, the main difference here on the front. And again, yeah, first Delta 717 since 2018, early 2018, in fact. So well over 5 years to my knowledge. So looking very good. Back of the box, if it focuses up, as you can see, has some really nice components there. There we go, somewhere around there. So looking very good right there. here is the pamphlet right here, looking very nice, and the aircraft on the inside. Very excited for this. This is going to be a workhorse, going to be used multiple times a month, so I'm really excited to have this, and this will be a very critical component of the collection right here. My other one's pretty wore out, so this is big. There she is. Man, that is absolutely amazing. That is fresh. Man, look at that. Alrighty, everybody, here we have the GeminiJets 1/400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 717-200, and I think this is like the 6th release or so, 5th or 6th release. They've done several of these, but it's been quite a while. Very excited to have this aircraft. This is absolutely outstanding. The antenna it just looks so fresh with that antenna. I don't know what it is about that little antenna that makes it so much of a difference, man. It takes it to the next level, and this is going to be a great aircraft for the collection, considering that this is a really cool aircraft. Not only for the general public, but also to all the Delta fans. This is a really good offering, and I'm really excited to have this. All 717 guys as well. What am I saying? So a really great offering right here. This is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So as you can see, we have the cockpit windows right here and the nose cone, which looks really good on this aircraft. Nose landing gear door. I think there's supposed to be a number there. Either I can't see it or it's not printed. So pretty interesting right there regardless. Here's the panel along with the L1 door, and the SkyTeam logo is on the door. I did not know that. Very cool little detail here by Gemini for representing that. So that's very cool. I think this is Delta's like 2021 or 2022 really good airline or something like that title here, which is really nice. Really cool piece right there as well. Here's the Delta billboard titles, and again, Delta's planes are very simple. There's not too much to them. So of course you have a little bit of first class here on the 717, and then your economy, or sorry, your Comfort Plus, which goes in the main cabin, which looks very good right there. Navy underbelly also looks really good. You got the various panel details there, which look really nice. Again, that antenna, man, I mean, I just got to put it back in the frame to really reflect on that. That antenna makes a huge difference, man. I don't know what it is, but man, I know it's a little bit big too, but it hits different. It really does. So that's super awesome to see. Wing root, really great job. They did an awesome job there. Main landing gear look really good. Registration November 998 Alpha Tango. And of course, you got the windows right there, right before the engine. So that's really cool. Speaking of which, there's the engine right there. Looks really nice. They did a really good job of representing that engine. So really great effort right there. You also have the panel there on the top, and then that air vent right below the Delta widget. Really great job here on the maroon and the red. It looks really nice, just like Delta. That's absolutely awesome. And the one-piece horizontal stabilizers, which also look really good. APU and that classic screwdriver back right there, which is really nice. I'd say the aircraft's also very good. There's the SkyTeam logo on the right side of the door, so that's certainly very cool. Got baggage door number 1 right there. And then if I scooter on up, I don't think it has a rolling gear, but it might. I'll check here in a sec. Here is the second one right over, right underneath the engine right there as well. So that's really nice right there. Top of the aircraft looks really good. You got the antenna and the beacons. How cool is that? Along with some really good wing detail there and the emergency exits as well. So really good job here. That looks really nice. Here's more of a side view as well, so you can see those emergency exits a little bit more. I'll flip it over here. So either they're really firm or not. I think they are supposed to roll, but they are super firm, but that's okay. Delta underbelly there, you're missing the L, but that's okay. Stand hold is very important. Great feature of these aircraft. So a really good model right here. This is top notch. This is exactly what I would have wanted for a re-release, and I'm so glad to finally have it. So finally having 2 of these Delta 717s will be really awesome, especially for great planes, but also help to get some rotation going. So I've used the absolute tar out of that 935 Alpha November, or Alpha Tango, excuse me, I believe is what I have. So really excited with this aircraft. Really nice one. Beautiful plane, and this is quite the aircraft to have. What a talent show for the Delta 717. Okay, so there's some sort of wide body in here. I have absolutely no idea what it is, so that's why I chose to grab it next. We have a couple more boxes left, so let's see what this is. I don't even know what it is. Oh man, what a shocker right there. Kind of forgot about this little talent show right here. But we're back to NG here with a 777-200ER. This is going to be the American Airlines One World Chrome, excuse me, not One World, One. So I say it wrong the first time, and I immediately correct myself and can't say it wrong again the second time. Not one word, One World American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER. So really awesome to have this one. This will be a very good one. The polished one I don't think is in stock yet for some retailers. So very excited here to have this One World. It's going to be a really nice aircraft, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this turned out. So let's go ahead and get started. Boeing 777-200ER. Here's the One World. Very unique box design here. So you have the One World logo here, really expanded. So that's pretty cool, along with the grays and the various colors. So member of One World, American Airlines, registration November 796 Alpha November, NG models. Really interesting contrasted colors here. So yeah, they did the 757 One World in 2021 or 2, so it's going to be very interesting to see. how this aircraft's going to be turning out. So really excited to see what it's all about. This is going to be a really good one, so I'm certainly excited for it, and I bet did a good job. So let's go ahead and get it out. This packing's really cool here. I really like that. What's it called? They had a yellow card for it, by the way, to clarify. The plastic cradle here, it's not really even plastic. This cradle is really solid, so I think it is plastic, but it's a really durable plastic at that. So, but yeah, let's take a look and see how they did. Take the plastic off, and we should be well down the line on QC issues for the NG777 since it's been out for a while, and that proves strong right here. Take a look at this. That's fantastic. Alrighty, everybody, and here we have the NG models. 1/400 scale, American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER in the One World Chrome livery. Very cool to see NG do this one. This is a really nice compliment to the GeminiJets one, so certainly very glad to have this aircraft. Will be quite the talent show to really dive into this and see what it's looking like, but overall, from the initial glance, this is a really good looking aircraft, and I'm certainly very glad to have it here in the fleet, so let's take a look at it. Alrighty, so here's the cockpit windows along with the nose cone, looking very nice right there. An expanded One World logo, and you get the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door. So ultimately, a really great effort here from NG to represent all those details. You got the panels and pitot tubes and everything up there too. So very nice. Here's the L1 door, member of One World American Airlines titles. Certainly nice and obvious on this aircraft. I'm really glad they kept the expanded format on the current livery 777, so that's certainly very nice right there. And honestly, new American livery is honestly, I think, really great still. So really cool to see that along with the old one too. So looking very nice with this right here. I think the stroke around the One World is a really critical part of why it pops so much. So that's really nice. Here's where the first class would be, obviously, and then a little bit of business and a little bit of main cabin etched before getting in the main cabin. So great. And all those various elements throughout here, so ultimately a really good job. Those NG antennas, man, they just look so good and proportional, so that's why they matter so much here. I'm so used to seeing them so expanded and large, but when they do look, you know, smaller, you know, it's like, are they really supposed to be there? And then you're like, yes, this is how they're actually supposed to look. So good job there by NG for representing that the correct way. You got the beautiful engines. I believe these are, I think they're Rolls-Royce. They very well can be General Electrics though, so don't take my word for it. It's one or the other though, I can at least tell you that. So that certainly looks very nice. The pylon's nice and extended, so really good job right there. Here's the wing where you got the flaps, slats, and speed brakes, so that certainly looks very nice. So certainly very glad to see that. Here's the main landing gear. Of course, as we've talked about, they don't pivot, but the trade-off there is how detailed they are, and they look really nice. So certainly appreciate that detail there from NG models doing what they do best. Over the wing here, as you can see, a little bit of a gap in the wing, but that's certainly more than tolerable. At the L3 door right there, along with the little stubby Wi-Fi box, considering the time frame they probably used for this aircraft. You got the two antennas back there too, so that's certainly very nice. You got the L4 door in the registration November 976 Alpha November, which I thought was really cool that they kept the same rigs onto the current livery, so that's certainly a very nice component of this. And here's the American Airlines tail, which fits in really nicely here. It just looks so crazy to see the gray tail after going through that full metallic fuselage, but it's certainly here and it looks really good. So at the APU, the horizontal stabilizers, all the various detail back there as well, so ultimately a really good job. On the right side of the aircraft, not too many other changes besides you got a large cargo door there. That's kind of hard to see considering all the panels you have, but the more detailed the merrier. I think it's really great here for NG models. It really fits their build. So, and the back also looks really good right there. Also, really key attention to detail here that I forgot to mention on the first pass. This gray piece and this one right here. Really good job to represent that the correct way. That's awesome. Top of the aircraft looks very good. Got a beacon, not too many other details. Got to get the other hand here. I was going to pinch myself how I was holding it. There we go. In the bottom of the aircraft, you got the stand hole, the landing gear doors, all the details you'd like to see. NG models did a really good job here. Very solid aircraft, really, really good one. The polish is outstanding. They did a great job. I'm very happy to see how great of a job they did. Really, really good aircraft, and overall NG models with yet another outstanding offering here with the Chrome 777 One World. This is awesome and very nice to see. Now, I do know what the next one is because of how small the box is, so we have two left. This one's a really cool one from, I think, the August release is when this came out, but this was kind of a curveball. Nobody really expected this one, so certainly going to be quite an interesting aircraft to add to the fleet. Yet another American Airlines aircraft is going to encompass this Dash 8-100 in the Piedmont Retro livery for Americans, so very cool to see this. So if you didn't know, American integrated these from the U.S. Airways merger. They flew predominantly out of their Charlotte and Philadelphia hubs, and I think they may have had a couple at the Washington hub as well. The DCA, that is. So very cool to have this aircraft. I don't think I ever got to see the Piedmont throwback, but I always got to see the normal ones, of course, the 100, and I think they had some 300s for a while there too. And I think, I'm trying to remember, the process of which they retired, but I do know they retired. I think it was either July 3rd or 4th of 2018. I think it was the 3rd, and I think the 175 got promoted into service on July 4th, Independence Day of 2018. So nevertheless, though, really cool aircraft that they had. Obviously now replaced with the 145s for Piedmont, so really cool. These all flew under the Piedmont subsidiary, by the way, so Piedmont Airlines, under the American umbrella, had these Dash 8s and then immediately flopped them all for 145. So, but yeah, really cool to see this. So let's go ahead and take a look. GeminiJets made for collectors by collectors. Here is the aircraft right here, looking very good. Again, really interesting choice for Gemini to do. They have done some various Dash 8s lately in various scales, but certainly really interesting to see them pull this curveball and do the Dash 8 retro. In fact, I don't think that they have even done a standard American Dash 8 yet. So the fact that they just went full steam with Piedmont is pretty interesting. So yeah, eager to see how this looks. This will be a neat component for the collection, and we'll see how that turns out. So first and foremost, a small guy. I haven't got a Dash 8 in a while, so very excited to see this. In fact, call me crazy, but this might be my first Dash 8 100 and won the 400. I think it is, because I was thinking of ATR when I saw the size, but I don't think I have a Dash 8 100 here in 400. This is certainly quite a nice little cute model here, so I'm excited to take a look at it. It's going to be great. Also, I apologize for my voice going dead. It has been a very busy last couple weeks, and I've not got a really good chance to recover, to be honest. So anyways, though, let's go ahead and take a look. Alrighty, everybody, and here we have the GeminiJets 1:400 scale American Eagle Dash 8 100 Piedmont Retro livery. Quite an interesting aircraft right here. Like I said, very interesting, but it has some really cool colors too, and I think this will be a really cool one to assess. So we're already pretty zoomed in, so I'll just go ahead and shift the angle here. This is going to be kind of a tough one because of how small it is, but let's see how we can do on this aircraft. So let me bring it back here into focus. Rather, I should say frame it and then focus it so we can get the best possible view. Let's go ahead and take a look. So I'll just kind of lift it up since you can barely see it. So you get the cockpit windows and nose cone. It looks maybe a little bit off, but again, it's not too bad. It's certainly made up for, though, by all that detail. And again, this aircraft's small. There's my finger. So the fact that they got that much detail on it is super awesome. So a great job here by GeminiJets. Nose landing gear, and then you got the American Eagle titles right there. Again, you got that really cool shade of blue. You also got the Piedmont logo on there, and then you got all the windows underneath these wings. Again, this is my first Dash 8 100 and 400. I kind of forgot about that, but certainly cool to get it. One of the major talking points of this aircraft was how that left gear dips down and makes the aircraft kind of unlevel right there. This aircraft's really small, so it's a really tough one. So it's tough to, obviously want to get it perfect, but it's really tough. So I personally don't think it looks miserable, but it's certainly noteworthy. So we'll take that away from this. You got the emergency exit in the middle right there, so that's really cool. Sorry, I'm trying to get a good view of it, but it's really tough. That's a pretty cool angle of it. But you can see all the windows throughout there, which is really nice. Got that cargo door right there, which is really cool. It's nice to see that right there. Most Dash 8 400s have doors in the back. Of course, a 100 is not going to. Registration was November 837 Echo X-ray, I think is what we see right there. And the Piedmont tail logo perfectly fitting there on the tail, so that's certainly very nice. You got the rudder, everything you'd want a one-piece horizontal stabilizer, but considering how small that is, it's literally smaller than my fingernail. What more would you expect there? Right side of the aircraft also, you can see this side's also backed up quite a bit too, but I personally think it looks certainly acceptable considering how small it is, but those little details do make quite a difference, as we were talking about for both GeminiJets and engine models. The Piedmont logo looking very good right there, and the propellers do spin, of course. You can blow on them and spin them. It's pretty cool. You got the U.S. flag on the registration, by the way, as well, along with the panel right here. No baggage door on this side. Pretty standard. And again, this aircraft's small. I'm all the way zoomed in on my DSLR, and here's my finger for reference. So the fact that it's that small is pretty crazy, and they did this good of a job on it. It's kind of a cool frame there for Piedmont right there. Here is the top of the aircraft. Again, really cool on the ailerons, how they have that red piece, certainly interesting. So that's certainly a very nice observation. But on the aircraft is as simple as it gets, literally. You get the GeminiJets logo. It's literally a fraction of a size. And you got the stand hole. Very nicely done right there. You got some nice wing detail here on the bottom. And yeah, ultimately a really neat offering right here. Nobody would have expected them to do this. So really excited to have this aircraft. Very unique one. I think it really fits the collection well. So I don't know what the last model is, to be honest. I have an idea of what it is. We'll see if it's that one. But nevertheless, what an unboxing it's been so far. Let's go ahead and finish this off the right way. Will it be the one that I'm thinking of? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Let's go ahead and take a look. It certainly is. Okay, so decided to get this re-release as well. This is the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 737-300 ER. So the reason I chose to get this is I have a 2018, I think, and the tail's bent. It's missing a tire. It's really beat up, and I might try to sell it or use it for parts or something. We'll see. I really just wanted one really nice one, and this release turned out really well. It has some cool aerials on it as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this aircraft turned out. I thought it'd be a good time to not flip-flop, but get one that's, you know, up to standard, and I'm excited to have it. So nothing too crazy on the GeminiJets box besides that it looks really good. And yeah, I haven't got an updated 767 from Gemini in a while, so this will be a great opportunity to see how they're doing on it lately. Excluding the 400, I meant the 300, to clarify, by the way. 2022 box is certainly interesting, so they were certainly getting ready for this re-release. Here is the top, as you can see right there, you got the pamphlet with all the applicable detail. Model's looking good on the inside. Very excited to have this one. Again, it'll be a talent show and a half. Really excited for this aircraft. The plastic comes off very easy on this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at this aircraft. Yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for. The tail's bent and it's paint chipped, you know. So this is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. This looks really great. What a finisher here to today's massive unboxing. Alrighty, everybody, right here we got the GeminiJets 1:400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 767-300ER with the winglets. This is exactly what I was looking for. Like I said, just was looking to enhance it up a little bit. I think I had my other one in massive unboxing. Oh man, throwing it back a while here. I want to say it was 5 or I want to say it was 6 or 7. I want to say it was 6. I could be completely off on that. Nevertheless, really excited to have this aircraft. This will be a very good one for the collection, and I'm very excited to have it. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Here's the cockpit windows right here, along with the nose cone that looks really good. Got some pitot tubes in the various panels, as we've talked about all day, so glad to see that there as well. Here is the SkyTeam logo, where it should be here on the left, what you would expect. And then you got the L1 door, along with that banner that I was talking about. Here's nose landing gear, and nose landing gear door, really nice on the 1201 right there. That looks really, really nice. Delta titles, of course, look really great, so certainly very glad to get to see that. You also have your Delta 1 right here, and then a little bit of Comfort Plus into economy, so very cool to get to see that. You have the antenna and then that Wi-Fi box I was referring to, and it looks really nice on this aircraft. So yeah, I know it's just little details like that, but it does look really good. So very glad to see that. This has been one of the long remaining one-piece molds, and this one certainly looks really good today. So certainly very glad that they nailed it on that. So really good job by GeminiJets. Engines look really nice. Again, nice and fluid. Nice leveling there. They look really great. So that's exactly what you want here on this mold. So really good job. There's the main landing gear. Very good. Again, just like the 321neo, that part just seems a little thick. I'll be really eager to see how the NG model 767-300 looks in that regard. So that'll be interesting. Here's the wing with the flaps, slats, and speed brakes. You also got the emergency exit there too. So that looks really nice. And the winglet. These winglets are so cool, man. Really, really cool. And 76, it's one of the cooler components of the aircraft in my opinion. So that's certainly one of the cooler parts about it. So that's certainly very cool to see. Again, here's all your economy. You got a bunch of it on this aircraft, so certainly glad to see that. You got that back antenna as well. You got the U.S. flag with the registration number 1201 Papa, and then you got that door right there and the L2 door along with the various components right there, and the beautiful Delta widget looking great. Awesome not have the paint chips, so certainly glad to get the refreshed version. And again, with all these re-releases, everybody, if you're looking to, whether it's your first time getting the aircraft or looking for a little bit better of a version or whatever the case may be, somebody in the 400 landscape's got you covered. Nose landing gear looks good on this side as well, along with the nose cone. This is one of Gemini's best molds, to be completely honest. This is really elite. You have the Delta titles right there, the Wi-Fi box. Engine a little bit tilted up on this side, but not too bad. And then, of course, again, you got the 1201 Papa. Keep in mind, this model was ordered before the NG mold announcement, but honestly, I don't think it would have mattered because of how good this aircraft is. There's no reason to replace this. This is awesome. Here's the top, really got good. You got the beacon, all that fun detail. Bottom, another Delta belt. You can't complain with that. You can actually see the L on this one, which is really cool. You got the various panels and everything down there too. Air inlet marked up. I mean, it's just absolutely outstanding. This is a really good mold right here. Gemini absolutely killed this particular example, and I'm so glad to have it in the collection. I mean, this is absolutely outstanding. This is exactly what you want to see from your model aircraft manufacturer. I'm so glad to have this here in the fleet. So a really awesome mass unboxing. Let's line all these up, see what they're all about, include today's video, because we made some absolutely outstanding progress today. Let's take a look at this. Alrighty guys, take a look at this lineup. Man, take a look at all these. Very impressed with today's mass unboxing. This was absolutely fantastic and a really good assortment of models here. Very fortunate here. This is absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and take a look. First, Dash 8-100 unexpectedly here. Well, not really unexpectedly, but just now realized with the American Airlines Piedmont throwback. Really cool one right there. Very unique release for Gemini. Really both these and the Contour 145. This is really nice here. The American looks very nice there. They did a really good job on that. The blue really pops on it. Speaking of blue, here's another blue one here, Contour. Really good job here. I think it looks really nice. This is probably one of the best regional jets in my collection, to be completely honest. They did a great job there, and I'm very, very glad to have in the fleet. That's absolutely awesome. The Spirit Airbus E321neo was certainly a success. A great job here by NG Models, from the casting of the aircraft to the engines. Really great job. They executed very nicely on that aircraft, and very glad to have that in the collection. Really good job by them. This Gemini American 321neo really impressed me. I'm very impressed with it. Very happy to have it. They did a great job from the proportions to the color. It's a really, really good offering. So, of course, you know, there's some small details. Tell printing maybe is a little bit crooked there, just from a glance, but overall, really great effort, really good job, and very neglectable details. They did great. That's a very solid A-. The collected Charters 737-400, despite the little nose gear incident there, turned out very nice. They did also a really good job on that. Glad to get a 764 for the first time. Sorry, 734. We'll get to the 764s in a moment, but 734 for the first time from them in a while. So that's a really good pickup. Maybe my favorite of the whole entire batch. There's a bunch of really good ones. I really like the Spirit. I really like the American. This Delta 717 was a really nice one there with the antenna and the various elements of that aircraft. That turned out really nice. So we're really glad to have that aircraft in the collection, and certainly a very nice duplicate that I'm very glad to have. Yet another very successful duplicate will be this Delta 767-300ER. They did an outstanding job in this aircraft. The Wi-Fi box really makes it. I don't know what it is about that, but that little detail really adds on. So really great aircraft, and certainly very glad to have it here in the collection today. That is a killer model and a talent show and a half, to say the least. This American Chrome 777 turned out very good. Really glad to have it. The polish is really nice. Ultimately, a really good effort. Very happy to have it. It's a really great model. So great job here by none other than NG Models for getting this aircraft put together. That's absolutely awesome. The United Airlines Boeing 767-400ER turned out really nice. Really glad that they were able to bounce back here in the livery, the printing, the various details here. They really kicked it on that. So that's a really great effort, and very glad to have that one. And last but certainly not least, the Ron Allen Delta 767-400 unfortunately did not go the way that we wanted it to with regards to the QC. However, the model is very nice, and I'm very glad to have it in the collection. We'll certainly be fixing that up, and we'll be excited to get it in future videos. It's a really cool one, and excited to get the pandas to compare. Certainly would like to do some model comparisons sometime. Like the American Neo was immediately screaming in my head, Delta 717. Really a bunch of these could go for some really good comparisons. But then at the same time, I got to think about using that time on real life content, since I have so much of that to make and only so much time. So we'll get a balance going, but the mass unboxings for sure are a key component of the channel. We're not going to be going anywhere with those, of course. So yeah, 39 is going to be coming soon, so I'm looking forward to it, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. Really great assortment of models. Very glad to have these in the collection. Really awesome, and they all look really great, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts in the comment section, so feel free to leave me one below. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just press as you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing